artist, Little Lenny. Here they are. Gentlemen, nice to see you.
Everybody remembers the story of how DJ Little Lenny was expelled from Kingston College after scoring mainstream success with the monster hit song Inna Baggy. I got expelled from KC. Those days, a pure rich man children and brown skinned man got the school. My mash up command entrance. That is why I may end up there. I wanted to be a lawyer, but music chose me. I thought music was a gateway, a way out for a struggling ghetto youth, Lenny said.
Teach them! Always make sure the message I reach them!
Are you ready? Healthy body! Are you ready? The gun in a baggy! Let's hear it for Little Lenny!
I had to sell slippers, panties and brassieres to get money to go to school. No one knew. I had to sell my grade 7 books to buy grade 8 books and grade 8 books to buy grade 9 books. I had 2 suits of uniform, so I had to wash them and wear them again. My shoes had cardboard on the bottom and I had to go home for lunch most days, he said. However, he says music was a way out. When he heard his first song on the radio, Shining Star, featuring Professor Grizzly, he was overcome with emotion. I water run out of my eye when me hear it on the radio and my mother realized that it was me, he said. Stardom was in the cards for the 16-year-old, and when his Inna Baggy song blew up at dances all over the island, the show started to come in and he felt his life was about to change. But luck is a capricious mistress, as he would soon find out. His troubles had just begun. When I came home from Grand Cayman, a journalist came to me to do a story and asked for a picture of me in my uniform. The journalist promised that he wouldn't use the picture, but the story came out. One day, the principal, Vivian Cohen, came in the class and asked for me by name, but I didn't respond or get up. He went to his office and pulled my file and he told me not to come back to school unless I heard from him. It's a ghetto youth thing. That is how I got expelled, he said.
Now they don't beg me to stop the lyrics here, see? But I can't stop, hear it. They make expel Little Lenny for nothing at all.
After being expelled, he collected his transcript and attempted to get into Camperdown High School. Somehow, the word got out to Camperdown that I would be coming to apply. And when I reached, the kids were all out of their classroom waiting to see me and the principal locked the gate on me.
Nothing at all. I'll tell you about the situation between Lenny and the principal. The principal never like him, man. Him and them friend them set up a plan. How to case he them to the general. I draw care about me come school bad. Draw care about me not take no extra. But making up him not go saddle in the plan because make me laugh heard and me get the kid.
Boy, it was rough. Even after me do the clean version to Inna Baggy, them still dash me out of school, he said. In hindsight, all the brouhaha over the raunch nature of the lyrics seems a little bit outdated now, given the tenor of today's times. Inna Baggy coming like gospel now compared to what some of these young DJs are singing. Me never sing a song for splash out a man brain or nothing like that. My song was always about girls, he said. These days, Little Lenny is a successful entrepreneur. He believes that a slew of recent events, which have included high-profile convictions and incarcerations of prominent artists, has given music a permanent black eye. Now, music is a everyman thing. Back in the day, most people in music are street youth who came from nothing. Marley came from 9 miles and put Jamaica on the map. Now, look what is happening. That is why I am a businessman now. I am staying away from people and just been doing business. In the music industry today, too many artists are bad man. If a policeman stop you now, you don't even want them to know say you're an artist. Every artist a criminal or bad man. That is now the stigma, he said. We did it for love. We love to entertain the crowd and we love the girls, but I never got more than a little show money out of the business, he said. Little Lenny ruled the dancehall rules in 1989 with Inna Baggy, which sold 90,000 copies locally, and then the remake, Healthy Body, the PG-13 version that ruled the airwaves and sold a further 80,000 copies and remained 4 weeks at #1 on the local chart. He helped to launch then fledgling label Shocking Vibes Production onto the dancehall stage. Other hits, Boom Flick, Punani Tegereg, Fragile Body, Hunka Meat, still coming and all fruits ripe followed in quick succession, but he said his ignorance of publishing made him an easy mark to exploit. I may have aced my common entrance, but musically I was a dunce. At the time I was suffering. My mother was suffering. I wanted to travel. So once I could rock the crowd and get the girls afterwards, I was okay. Words soon got around that all I needed was a plane ticket and a girl. In quick time, I done 4 passports before I realized that I wasn't being paid my full show money. Little Lenny said his naivety was his ultimate undoing. When you give a ghetto youth a Clarks and a suit, him no want see money. I was just grateful to be able to change my shoes, because all my life I had to share shoes with my brother. When I gave my mother my first US $2,000, she stopped sick because she could go private doctor, he stated.
Now you see, before I start DJing, I'm going to sing a little piece to the girls then. Come with it. I will make got no man. Play low. Hear it, come. I'll be your guiding star, my darling, cross my heart. Oh God.
His dream soon soured when he realized that his contemporaries were buying houses and cars and he could not. Other artists who he shared billing with were commanding fees north of US $15,000, while his stipend never deviated. At the same US $2,000 me I get, I never got any publishing for any of my songs. It was sold behind my back. That is why I stopped DJing in 1992, he said. He took a hiatus from the music and attempted a comeback by recording on popular rhythms in the mid-1990s, but it just wasn't happening, so he embraced the corporate world. I had some friends who wanted to do music and I wanted to do what they were doing, business. So we exchanged insider information, and that is why today I can support myself. I am not rich, but I earn way more out of business than music, he said. Now 45, the father of 7 children, operates a publishing business in Kingston, among other business ventures.
Come again, come to take life again. Whole crowd of people will present family. Little Lenny come again, come to take life again. But take it up. Sing all the anti-body girls in all the place. Allah, jump around and ball out. Your body healthy, shout out. Turn your roll and ball out. Little Lenny there you feel Allah out. Your man love your bad, jump and say. Oh God.
In his heyday, Little Lenny recorded 4 albums, 3 for Shocking Vibes and the other for Washington, D.C.'s Rush Records. He said he also did an album for Columbia Records, which he said was never released. In 2013, he released a 4-track EP titled Little Lenny Reminiscing. These days, he sees music more as a hobby than anything else. There was a time that I was so bitter that only a few people could have called me to do shows. Respect to Jerome Hamilton, who helped me when me a suffer, and Sharon Burke, who made sure I got thousands of dollars from my Reggae Sunsplash World Tour after I left Shocking Vibes, he said.
All of the girls you have it, glam it enough. Swallow up on one, hold it up, pop. All of the girls you have it, glam it enough. Swallow up on one, hold it up. Hold it up. Oh, she got 1 pound of fluff. Hold it up. Oh, she got 2 pound of fluff. Hold it up. Oh, she got 3 pound of fluff. Oh, the girl them patty them up.
One of his favorite highlights of his career was an appearance on talk show impresario David Letterman's show Late Night on NBC in 1992. I have to thank Dennis Brown for that. We were on the Reggae Sunsplash World Tour, and Dennis, who has a great heart, saw me and said, "Fireball, you're blazing. I have a song with Shabba Ranks and Maxi Priest. Come blaze it with me." At that time, the show was in 2 segments, 3 first, then the big 4. So when he invited me to his stage, he gave me a chance for more people to see me on that Hawaii performance. And that is how I was invited to perform on David Letterman's show, he said. He said that even though he believes he was given a raw deal, music changed his life. At the time, I was just living for my mother. Music allowed me to take care of her at that time. It made my mother live in Florida. Right now, Amis are everything.
We call them for funky man. Little Lenny article done.
The story behind Inna Baggy Iconic producer Tony Kelly lived in the same East Kingston community as Little Lenny and informed him that he had a brethren who was going to start a label. I did not want to go, but I went up to Penthouse. I used to sweep out Penthouse and run errands for Donovan Jermaine, but he was a strict man who ensured that you went to school. So anyway, I go up a Penthouse. At the time, Patrick Roberts them were focusing on Liquor Kirk. Tanto Metro was up there as well, he said. I was shy, so I was around the step area, and Tanto Metro come to me and encouraged me to come in the studio to do my song. I finally go in and do Inna Baggy, and everyone start laugh like them take it for a joke. Tony Kelly, who was the engineer at the time, got upon him keyboard and start play something around it. Little Lenny said, Patrick never liked it, and me get vexed and say, see it there? You make me flop myself. But them finish up the song and them carry it go up a Gemini club the night and it wheel up 14 times in the dance. The next morning, I see Patrick Roberts ride come at my house, breathless, while me put on my KC tie and say, I have to come record back the song. He reminisced. I go back in the evening and them record it and do the stamper. When the song come out, it couldn't get no distribution, so we do it ourselves. Patrick did 700 copies, then he did 3,000 copies, and it went in an hour, then another 3,000 more. Then Winston Riley stepped in. He printed so many that the stamper mash up and he had to make another stamper, he said. Eventually, over 90,000 copies were sold. Later on, he did the clean version of his song, Healthy Body, and sold 80,000 more copies. I won every award for a new artist that year. Those songs sold a lot, but today you have people that sell 300 copies and I make Billboard Reggae chart, he said, laughing.
Jump around cause you know your body healthy. Allow all good food you are eating. Jump suck out those wine and show me. Up on the microphone nobody can me.
This video was made possible through the continued generosity of my patrons. To become a patron, follow the link in the description below.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them right here. Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Leave a comment below. Remember to like and share the video. Please consider subscribing for more content. Follow me on social media and check out the suggested videos on screen. Until next time, walk good.